Poker isn't about your cards. It's not even about you. It's about the people across the table, and a lot of players completely miss that. Hi, I'm Terry Wood, and today we're digging into deadly sin number 4, focusing on yourself. It's one of the most common leaks in poker, and one of the hardest to notice. Not because it's sneaky, but because it feels like playing smart, studying your hand, planning your move, protecting your chips. But here's the truth. Every second you're locked in on your cards, your stack, your plan, you're missing what really matters, what everyone else is doing. In this video, we'll break down how self-focus quietly kills your bankroll, why your brain is wired to do it, and how to flip the script so you start playing them, not just your hand. Every time you make poker about yourself, you give away money. It doesn't happen in one big obvious hand. It happens quietly over hours, days, months of missed opportunities and bad reads. Focusing on yourself in poker blinds you to the most important factor in every decision, how the other players are acting. When your attention is locked on your own cards, your own stack, or your own emotional state, you stop noticing things like raise frequency, who is raising every other hand and who only raises with strength. Missing this pattern leaves you constantly guessing. Physical and timing tells. Nervous chip shuffles, glances at stacks, hesitation before bets. Each tells a story you're not hearing if you're staring at your cards. Emotional shifts. A player who just lost a big pot may go on tilt, opening up spots to trap or value bet light. Someone stacking chips after a big win might tighten up or start splashing around with confidence. Player types. Loose aggressive, tight passive, calling stations, rocks. Recognizing these archetypes and when they change mid-session is how you predict future actions and exploit tendencies. Positional dynamics. Who's to your left that can squeeze or re-raise you? Who's behind you waiting to act? Ignoring table flow because you're lost in your own hand makes even good cards unprofitable. All of this information is free money, but only if you're watching for it. Players focused inward miss these cues, forcing themselves to rely on guesswork. That's how bankrolls bleed, paying off obvious value bets, folding to bluffs you could have read, and missing your own opportunities to strike. Self-focus in poker isn't always obvious. It doesn't announce itself with a siren or a flashing light. It creeps in quietly, showing up in habits that feel harmless, but that cost you money every time you do them. Here are the most common ways players make the game about themselves and ignore where the real information lies. 1. Falling in love with your hand. Pocket kings? Ace-king suited? That favorite lucky hand you always play? Getting attached makes you blind. The tightest player at the table just fired on every street, but you're still calling. You're not reading the board. You're reading your hopes. 2. Choosing seats for comfort, not strategy. The seat you like isn't always the seat that pays. If the most aggressive player is on your left all night, you're under fire. If the weak spots are on your right and you pass that seat up, you missed easy value before the first card was even dealt. 3. Staring at your cards instead of the table. You get 2 cards. You don't need to memorize them 12 times. Meanwhile, you missed a hesitation, a glance, a betting pattern, because you were locked in on paper rectangles you should already know. 4. Obsessing over your stack. Stack size matters, but only in context. While you're plotting your big move, you're missing. Who just went short stack tilt? Who's sitting deep with something to prove? Who's steaming after a bad beat? Poker is about relative stack pressure, not just your own chip count. 5. Choosing tables for familiarity, not opportunity. It feels good to sit with people you know, or take the first open seat. But that's not poker. That's comfort. Pros walk the room first. They look for soft spots, tilted gamblers, and big stacks ready to blow. That's where the profit is. Poker doesn't reward comfort. It rewards awareness. Now you might be thinking, why do I keep doing this, even when I know better? Because this isn't just a poker problem. It's a human one. Psychology shows that our brains are wired to make us self-absorbed at the table, even when it costs us money. Here are a few of the psychological reasons behind it. 1. The spotlight effect. We overestimate how much people are watching us. At the poker table, it feels like every move we make is being analyzed. So we get self-conscious. We focus on our image instead of reading theirs. 2. Cognitive load. Your brain can only process so much at once. In multi-way pots, under pressure, we default to what we can control, our hand, our stack, our plan. But in doing that, we shut out the critical signals coming from the other players. 3. Emotional anchoring. Ever cling to a hand because it just felt like it was supposed to win? That's emotional anchoring, sometimes referred to as value rigidity. You stop reacting to what's actually happening and stay stuck on what you hoped would happen. This is just a condensed version of why this deadly sin persists. For the full breakdown of the psychology behind it, including cognitive bias, tilt patterns, and the signs of attention, check out the full article at pokerrailbird.com. I've dropped the link in the description below. Poker is a game of people, patterns, and math, but you can't apply the math if you miss the patterns. So let's talk about how to fix this. Here are 6 ways to retrain your focus and get your eyes where they belong. On your opponents. 1. Memorize your cards immediately. Look once. Lock it in. Done. Staring at your cards doesn't make them stronger. It just wastes the time you could be using to read your opponents. 2. Watch every hand you're not in. Every fold is a learning opportunity. Who plays too many hands? Who folds to aggression? Who just snapped after a bad beat? You don't need to be in the hand to win from it. 3. Choose table and seat strategically. Stop sitting wherever it's comfortable. Walk the room. Find the weak players, the splashy stacks, the tilted wrecks. Then take a seat with position on them. That's edge before the cards are even dealt. 4. Detach emotionally from your hand. You're not in a relationship with pocket kings. You don't know suited connectors anything. Every hand is a situation, not an identity. Let the math and the read tell you what to do. 5. Track opponent tendencies. Mentally or physically, take notes. Who always continuation bets? Who only raises premiums? Who's in a different gear after that big pot? Poker is a dynamic game. Observation keeps you current. 6. Think in context, not isolation. Your stack, your cards, your plan, they matter, but only in context. What's your position? Who's left to act? What range are you facing? Don't play in a vacuum. The goal isn't to just watch more. It's to gather real information and combine it with sound math to make the right decision at the right time. Poker isn't just a game of cards. It's a game of people, and the greatest edge doesn't come from the cards at all. It comes from what you observe. The deck is indifferent. It doesn't care if you folded for an hour or if you always play Jack-10 suited. It has no memory and no bias. But people are full of patterns, habits, tells, and errors. And like Sherlock Holmes peering through the fog of deception, the strongest players scan the table not for evidence of luck, but for clues in behavior. The money flows not to the most aggressive player, or even the one with the best hand. It flows to the player who sees the most, understands the subtle cues, and makes the sharpest deductions, all while backing it with the cold logic of mathematics. Every edge in poker is an edge in information. And most of that information comes not from your cards, but from the people across the felt. Think about what you can uncover simply by observing. Betting patterns. Who raises with air? Who only bets when they've got the goods? Positional play. Who uses position like a scalpel and who wastes it every time? Reaction to losses. Who keeps composure after a bad beat and who unravels into tilt? Timing tells. Who snapbacks with strength and who stalls when weak? Emotional signals. Who sits stoic and unreadable and who broadcasts discomfort with every chip? A true poker detective watches these signs, catalogs them, and then uses mathematical inference, not guesswork, to act. Are you getting the right price to call based on the range their actions suggest? Does their line make a bluff mathematically correct in this spot? Can you lay down a strong hand, not because you're afraid, but because the numbers and evidence say you're beat? Poker mastery isn't a hunch. It's deduction. It's observation. It's data-backed intuition sharpened like a blade. And if you want to win at poker, you don't need a deerstalker hat or a magnifying glass. Just a sharp eye, a steady hand, and the willingness to see what others miss. Poker isn't a solo sport. It's not you versus the deck. And it's definitely not you versus your own cards. It's you versus the players across the table. Every chip you earn is backed by 2 things: observation and mathematical discipline. When you make poker about yourself, your cards, your stack, your plan, you shut off the one edge that separates great players from everyone else, the ability to see, adjust, and exploit what's actually happening at the table. Don't play in a bubble. Look up. Watch. Listen. Process. Play the players, not just the cards. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's still stuck playing poker in their own little bubble. The full article, Focusing on Yourself in Poker, Deadly Sin Number 4, is now live at pokerrailbird.com. You'll find a link in the description below and pinned in the comments. And if you missed the first 3 videos and articles in the series, Deadly Sin Number 1, Poor Self-Control, Number 2, Denial, and Number 3, Impatience. You can find them all on the channel and at pokerrailbird.com as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Terry Wood, and I'll see you at the tables.